Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today we are doing alternate future episode 2. So last time we did the Iran war, Ukraine war, and US expansion, and leaving of NATO. I don't know if I said that last time, but they left NATO, which is not a good thing. No, not that way. Like this. Yeah. Well, anyway, to start off with, we're going to do a I should have probably thought this prior. Anyway, Morocco declares war on West Africa. And I realise my tolerance is really low. So let me just adjust that to there. So it shouldn't be any white, or less white. Anyway, to start off with, I believe, let's say there is no military inside of each of those two. It's actually somewhat interesting, because otherwise it's going to be like something like this. I already own all that. But anyway, Morocco starts to push down, aiming to take all of the coast before the end of the year, getting stopped somehow by civilians and troops. However, they do manage to take the Panhandle area. They start to push down from the desert, meeting up to their coastal push, then going around the civilians that are rising up, and then encircling them and taking them all out. Which, yeah, they don't really last long. All of the military are there. Which does lead to full annexation, as Morocco already claims all of that land for themselves. Further down in Africa, we have some conflicts of brewing here. Nigeria, joined by, I don't really know what happens really down here. Let's just say these two declare war on Cambodia, that are then joined by these guys, leading to an African war due to resources, or Nigeria wanting to expand to gain resources and other valuable assets like land, very valuable. Anyway, they push, taking the coastal region, joining up with Ghana. They push up, planning to take out this kind of area here, so they do not have any country between them. Niger manages to get Chad to allow them to move military assets between Cambodia and Niger, which does lead to minor pushes in the north, like so, and some pushes around here, but how pushes joining them up officially. However, down in the coastal region, Nigeria is pushing down, trying to aim to take their coastline as well, leading to Niger's troops moving down to aid this area, trying to keep the southern coast open so they can keep trade. However, this does lead to Togo and Benin being mostly taken, then entirely taken later on, leading to this spearhead, leading to the border of Mali, leading to, don't know what the country's name is, but this country to be obliterated and then surrenders. This surrender does not help, especially since Nigeria pushes and cuts them off again, telling Chad they will attack if they allow troop movements to continue, which they cease, which leads to Nigeria quickly falling as most of their troops are in. I keep saying these. Morocco. This country here. So as Niger starts to get attacked from the south, most of the infrastructure starts to get taken and population, leading to a surrender as most of the population is in the south, leading to Cambodia reluctantly surrendering conditionally to keep their land. So I'm going to cut now to the peace treaty, and I'll see you there. Here is the peace treaty as seen. Cambodia does get out of this with only the land occupied by Nigeria going over. However, the rest of the countries were split between the surrounding nations. Benin entirely goes to Nigeria. Togo, well, it's whichever. The one that was closest to Ghana goes to Ghana. One close to Nigeria goes to Nigeria. The country that was here was split between these four. And Mali was given tons of land to encourage them to join this sort of alliance that is forming down here. So let's move away from Africa for now and over to South America, where Venezuela declares war on. No, they are not declared on. They are declaring on Ghana. If I were on Ghana and Suriname. Also, this island nation here, but they're insignificant. As Venezuelan troops takes this island within a matter of weeks, troops start to push into Guyana, instantly reaching this little line here before some international troops, because they didn't have troops, start to arrive, slightly starting to slow their push. However, it does still start to occur, leading to the coast entirely falling over, and they kind of leave this area as it's mostly jungle. And then as all of the coast is taken, they surrender. However, there is no peace treaty, as someone doesn't like land in the Americas being taken. The US joins the war. Forgot how much I think this is the territories they had, including Alaska, but I'm going to leave them out because they're not going to be in. Yeah, I think that's it. But anyway, America joins, forcing Cuba into the war, weirdly. Wonder why? But why is it beyond? Why is America declared a war on all of these guys? It's a little strange. It's like they're going expansionist. Well, anyway, America sends a landing to the Bahamas, instantly taking it over after several land hopping campaigns occur. A small push from the Bay area they own start to occur as they take that and that. Haiti. That's just longer America. The Dominican Republic starts getting invaded as landings start to occur from Puerto Rico and the fallen state of Haiti. Jamaica falls. South Cuba is landed on from the Mexican holdings as the entire Cuba folds over. These islands start to be taken as America runs on Venezuela. Anyway, let's continue. The coast of Venezuela starts to fall rapidly, especially as America is not wanting any more conflicts as they just kidnapped the leader. Anyway, they push around, taking these islands and fully encapsulating the coast other than this Bay area. And up here, they make a landing in Guyana and Venezuela. and taking the full coast of the unoccupied land. Forces in Suriname start to rebel, leading to Suriname fully declaring independence from the occupation. Guyana surrenders to America. What? Anyway, from Guyana they start to push into Venezuela, taking around this Bay Area now, reaching Colombia. That troops start to mysteriously come through. Leading to Venezuela pretty much just surrendering after a few months. Then something strange happens. Suriname falls over to America. Anyway, let's cut to the peace treaty again, and I'll see you after it's done. But you can probably guess what's going to happen. And this is the peace treaty shown here. America turns Suriname and part of Guyana into a puppet. Same with Venezuela, turning that nation into a puppet. Colombia was found out to actually be allowing American troops to go through their land in the promise of them gaining western Venezuela, which America does go through and give them. So, let me sort this out. America has gone extremely expansionist, now owning all of the Caribbean, which does start to scare Canada, as they are not allied anymore. Fortifications do start being constructed around major sections of Canada, it's mainly just this section here. And the NATO troops do start flooding in from Europe, going around this route. As NATO troops start to flood into Canada, America sees this and decides to stay out of war for a while world tensions start to calm down. Anyway, America is going peaceful for now. Russia then annexes. Okay. Thinking about it, I don't think they'll directly annex them. Anyway, they declare war on Kazakhstan, Georgia, and okay, that's the wrong colour, I realised. Russia declares war on Kazakhstan, Georgia, this country here. I'm not going to try to say these, but these countries, and Turkmenistan. They're looking pretty Soviet. Anyway, okay, no, they don't leave. Russian troops start to flood into, out of these two areas that they already occupy, quickly taking Georgia out of this war. As the proper war starts to begin, military operation starts to begin, Kazakhstan starts to see mass troops entering into their borders from Russian lands. So North Korean troops end up over here somehow, as the entire border starts to get pushed into, where massive encirclement happens there, surrounding tons of Kazakh troops, whereas more Southern Asian countries, Central Asian countries start to flood their troops up to the front line to slow the Russian push. The entire European Kazakhstan falls over as more land starts to surrender or be taken without mercy. As the troops actually start to get to the front, the border kind of starts to stalemate like this until someone joins. Afghanistan joins Russia's side after being promised something that will not be discovered till later. As most of Central Asian troops are up here or in the coast, what's it call it? Afghanistan starts to massively push up to around here before troops actually start to arrive again, which does start to slow the front to then stalemating like this, leading to this entire country of, I'm not going to how to pronounce it, falling over to Afghanistan. As troops start to leave the Kazakh border, a lot of Russian pushes start to happen as more area, such as this, start to fall over. Russian naval landings start to affect Turkmenistan, eventually meeting up with Afghanistan, starting a sort of trade route. The troops meet up with the original push, then fully taking the lake out of the hands of these allies. Troops start to push around China, ensuring they can't enter and help or take land. And mass land starts to be taken before Kazakhstan surrenders, which leads to Russian troops flooding down, taking the rest of that pocket, and then eventually leading to these countries surrendering. Yet again, I will see you after another peace treaty. The peace treaty is now shown here, with Afghanistan and Russia both fully annexing the countries that joined. Let me just fix this. Oh wait, I've got to use subdivision later on. Apologies. Anyway, with them the war ending, Russia annexes all of these lot, leading to Russia becoming more Soviet. Armenia joins the Russian Union, as it is now called, as they see it as better than possibly being annexed by Azerbaijan or Turkey. A new alliance is formed between Russia, the rest of Iran, and Afghanistan, which is now threatening Europe, also Belarus in this Ukraine state that they're puppets. It's now threatening Europe. Anyway, down in Africa again, this is the last conflict of the video. And where is it? There. The Congo declares war on the central Gabon and these two countries here and these guys, trying to get more coastline and reform the borders of Belgian Congo to make sure the Belgians remember what they did. Anyway, civilians push into the territory, taking it fully, taking over all military infrastructures and other equipment there, using it to then attack into this state here, which is, I believe their capital is on the board. Yeah, the capital is taken, leading to the capital of the Congo being more protected. Whatever. I was probably gonna say it right, but this little exclave is surrounded, and then the coast starts getting pushed along until they start to collapse. The country starts to collapse. These two surrender, leading to the Congo annexing them fully and forcing Angola, that's what it is, Angola to give this little exclave over to them. I'm going to draw these and then cut back as I explain some of the things that are happening. So here's the borders after I've removed all of the old borders. Anyway, over in Asia, China is starting to gain more influence over the area as Japan and South Korea start to move more away from America and more towards Europe, as also down here starts to move more towards Europe as America is starting to turn expansionist. China likes this as they do not like the Americans. The Europeans, on the other hand, might have attacked them, but they are not as powerful, so they can sell goods and other services to them and not worry about being overthrown. Over in Europe, the UK has started to stabilise after the Civil War, with the Midland Union, I'm going to call it, finally securing the government and the royals' approval. Ireland wasn't really affected, also Northern Ireland. Scotland forms a true democracy and joins the EU. This new federation also joins the EU after seeing what Brexit left. Anyway, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day. If you liked the video, like and subscribe for more content like this, and I hope I see you again. Goodbye.